growing. And before I give us the causes, I also want to understand that there are laws in life that we must respect. There are laws in life that we must respect. There are spiritual laws, there are natural laws, and there are moral laws. There are spiritual laws, there are natural laws, and there are what? Moral laws. And most of the times, we can trace the losses we have in our business from either of those. Any fault may come from any of those what? Losses. Because I am a believer, I'm a very strong believer. And if you go to the market, you will know the kind of person. If you ask of me, they will tell you. Why? It's because of some of the spiritual laws that I know. So I'm careful to do some certain things and not do some certain things, even though it may not be what? Contemporary. Because I told us that you can actually predict your life. I'm telling you, can actually predict how things will turn out if you actually understand the laws and abide by those what? By those laws. There are spiritual laws. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have seen a lot of people who are supposedly not strong believers. They are not believers. They don't talk about God. In fact, they don't even believe in God. And we see them prosper in their what? In their businesses. It is because there are a lot of natural laws they understand. You understand? There are a lot of natural laws those guys understand, and they what? They implement. In fact, there are a lot of spiritual laws they really understand. So you'll be wondering, you see somebody that is going to church, serving God, but when you come to business, he's what? He's failing in business. And some of them will be blaming Satan. The truth is that there is a law. Any loss, any loss you see is a fracture of one of these laws or all of these what? Laws. And I will advise you, if you want to really uh, maximize the benefit, your potential in the business sectors, you must consider these words, these three laws. Because if you don't consider it, either one of them can work. And most of the times, people does not concentrate on the spiritual laws and the moral laws. People concentrate on the what? Natural laws. So you see somebody working hard. By 8 o'clock, he's out in the market, working hard every day. But at the end of the day, if you check the amount of money he's making, it's not equal to the amount of what? Effort. Some will go to church, they will spend all their day in the church. They will still come back. The same what? The same problem. It's because there are laws that we need to what? Consider. So some of the losses I will be mentioning, some fall on spiritual laws, on natural laws, and what? And moral laws. So one of the causes of losses, I told us that you can't actually manage loss. You don't know the what? The causes. So you need to know the law you are breaking. For example, I after my wedding, or before, I believe, okay, before my wedding, I was experiencing a kind of stagnation in my life as a businessman. That I cannot buy goods with my money. As in, for example, if there is sales now, a lot of people buy cash. I can't actually raise cash to buy. But I know that I do supply. I supply. You understand? I supply to people and I pay the people I'm owing, but I don't have my own personal what? Cash to because this one now this one this what I'm about to say now for spiritual law, because one of the reasons why people are actually making losses in prayer in in um, in business is the absence of God. absence of God. And in the absence of God, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things we need to do. Once God is absent in your business, because nature abhors vacuum. If God is in charge of your business, He controls it. And if God is in charge of your business, there is a way to know that God is in charge of my what? Business. If God is in charge of your business, He directs you. Because the laws of God are the highest what? Laws. So anytime you're operating by the laws of God, even though the moral law can be affected, yes, because a man can be running with moral law and still fail. Or the natural law can be what? Affected. But as long as we are running by what? Eh? By the laws of God, you are walking above any other what? Any other laws that can actually cause losses. So I went to pray. That's why I know I started by telling us there are laws. There are spiritual laws, there are natural laws, there are moral laws. These days we joke with God and we think we will succeed. And even if you succeed, what you call success without God is not actually what? Success. Go and check the person very well. Because most people are not telling us everything. They're not telling us what? I mean, I will tell you, it's my personal life and I know how God has helped me. So I went to pray. And in my prayer, God spoke to me. And the reason why God can speak to a man in that way is because first of all, I'm born again. You understand? Eh? You don't have any access to God if you're not what? If you're not a child of God, there is no communication. So for God to come into the equation, I have to what? I have to make sure that I have given my life to Christ. And I've made Jesus my Lord and what? Personal Savior. So I now qualify to receive direction, instructions from who? From God. So God spoke to me and told me that you want to run, but the people you are supplying to, they are crawling. He said, take the money away from the people that are crawling, give it to the people that are what? Running. And you what? You run. You understand? So this is, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I know, this one now, I know I keep moral laws, and it's not about, even if you keep moral laws and the natural what? Yes. There is another law now that is superimposing on my business. So that was what I did. It was so painful because most times life is not sentiment. It's not about sentiment. If you are sentiment about life, you will lose a lot of money in business. So I have to collect money from people. I have to be patient as they are paying. Some of them, if I'm giving them like 75,000, I will give them 15,000. I push the money to the people that pay, and I was able to what? Raise a lot of money. That one was solved because of what? God. The absence of God in your life, the absence of God in your business will cause you to lose a lot of what? Yes, because God will keep you afloat when event of life hits you. Eh? Because you are covered, you are hiding inside God. Because another name for God is the rock. Those things will come. Bible says, he that hear this word of mine and do them, I will liken that man to a what? To a wise man that builds his house where? On the rock. So one of the things God taught me is to build my business on what? On the rock. So you can't see me do some certain things. It's not contemporary. In fact, there are times people they are going down. They are complaining of, say, no market, no income. But I know that by that law that I'm operating, that law is able to what? There is a law called the law of gravity, pulls things down. But why does aeroplane fly? Aeroplane operate by a higher law, the law of flight. You understand? It is only the law of flight that can make an aeroplane to what? To hang, even though everything is what? Once the law is broken in the plane will crash. And this world is broken. You don't expect to succeed in life as a businessman or as a businesswoman if you take God out of the equation. There are many things that will break your morals. There are many things that will break your natural, because you understand what I'm saying? There are many orchestrations How when they come, if God is not there, the Bible says when the rain comes, when the storm comes, beat against the house what? Was not shaking. Why? It is founded on what? So one of the things I learned is for me to manage some of the losses, I began to actually build on the word of God. Not only what I see in the Bible, what He told me, what He tells me personally. There are secrets I run with that may not work for you. And I'm not telling you now, if you decide to give your life to Christ now, in case you're not giving your life to Christ, then in case you just know. Most of the times I didn't even know. I was just studying Bible. That is my daily routine. Study Bible, pray, then He will come with an instruction. Part of the instruction He gave me was they say, stop buying credit now. Say, I will give you money to what? Buy. And as long as I what? Anything I needed, He always what? He provides. And many other things. So absence of God in your business can actually cause great damage. If you run your life the way everybody is running their life, you will have serious problem. All earth, all flesh is grass. There is nothing man builds by himself that can stand the test of what? Time. So one of the major causes of losses in the life of people is because they have taken God out of what? And you know, I am intentionally saying this thing like this because I know if you go to some business schools, they will not be telling you something like this. It's actually a lie. I have personally confirmed and understood that you cannot actually make anything work successfully without God. Whether you are operating by the wisdom of God, by the knowledge of God, by the understanding of God, His understanding wisdom is superior to any other word. So if there is any wisdom, understanding that is coming against you, and that understanding can never what? Defeat. Why? You're operating by the highest what? Yeah. So one of the reasons is the absence of God, absence of a prayer life. When we bring God into the equation, we now bring Bible study, the knowledge of God, understanding of who God, the wisdom of who God. In fact, we even talk of moral. We even bring moral because God has moral laws. God has what? In fact, God is the creator of all those words, laws. But what I'm saying is that moral law is not enough. Natural laws are not what? Enough. We need to operate by spiritual what? Laws. But you can't follow God if you don't obey some of those words. Sadly, a lot of people don't understand this and they are struggling. And if what I'm saying is not, why is it that a lot of people they fraternize with Satan? They go to native doctor. If what I'm saying is not true, why does people need to go to a native doctor to get something? And once they go there and get something, it will be what? Working for them. Another thing we need to consider is greed. Once a man is greedy, eh? I'm telling all the causes of what? Losses. So in telling all the causes of losses, you now know how to what? Manage those what? Losses. One of the biggest problem of this time is quick gain. Quick gain. What wealth gotten by vanity? Bible says it will diminish. But one version says, "He that gather little by little will increase it." We what? Increase it. He gather what? Little by what? Little. He will certainly what? Increase it. That is when labor now coming to what? That is when labor. That is when management. Because gathering little by little is when you get 20,000, you what? You keep. When you get 25,000, you what? You keep. When you get this one, you what? You keep. He that gather little by what will increase it. What will he increase? His wealth. But if we are greedy, covetous, love of money has caused a lot of people to have shipwreck. In fact, I have this young guy. This guy is very, very hardworking and he has a lot of mercy on his life. When I saw him, I told him, "So you have mercy, there is a lot of mercy in your life." And the guy just came into the business and I was making a lot of money. Until some guys now met him. I don't know. Maybe they were telling him, "This your money. Is it with this your money you will ride Benz? Is it with this your money you will build?" So the guy, this guy stopped business and started doing forest business. The thing, his money crashed from forest business. He They wanted to introduce him to Yahoo Yahoo, and they didn't tell him what they do to actually make the money. What they told him is that if you just put this platform now and do this and do this, it's a lie. They pay a lot of prices to make that. It's not possible to just call somebody on the phone and the person will wire 5 million. Is that possible? So there is something they are doing behind the scene. So eventually, they were actually driving the guy to that point, and the guy does not have heart to do such kind of thing. And eventually, his everything finished. I am telling you, a young guy that controls millions of naira. And I knew him. I called him. I said, "Don't join these people. If you ever join these people, the way I'm seeing you, it is labor, but because of what? Quick gain, quick gain, greed, greed, greed makes people to lie. And once people discover that you're a liar, you start losing customers. You start losing money. You understand? So this is how this young guy, bright young guy, doing very well. I know what I'm saying because the guy just came to the market and I called him and said, I was even say, stay with Jesus. So come, he refused. He wanted one easy how, and that is how that guy was shaped. A lot of losses. I have seen people lose money. In fact, bet companies have rendered a lot of youth, a lot of guys, a lot of shops in the market went down. I can still remember about two people now. In fact, one I was very close to the person. He got to some extent, he started even stealing, and he had to run away from the market. Bet company, uh, all these lies they told you people, they normally tell you. They say use 100 naira and win 4 million. The 4 million the person wants to give you, where did it come from? It is when 100 naira now times it by maybe 100 naira times 4 million. They have to get that 100 naira times what? 4 million before they what? And they can only give, at times they don't even give anybody. But the way they encourage our youth that when you use, and all of them are what? Before you know it, one came to my house, took my stabilizer and sold. He lost. If he sees food, they will see. He will see what? Greed. Greed. That's why people enter money ritual. And many of them, before 25 years, everything. So one of the causes of losses in business, as I'm telling you the causes, then you know how to manage it. And that's why God now comes into the equation. The truth is that we can't discuss success in business without considering God and the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross of Calvary. How do you deal with greed? With what do you deal with greed? It is only the sacrifice of Christ that deals with what? Greed. One day I was studying the Bible and the Lord was pointing this to me. Greed. And I begged him, I said, cut it away. And because I know myself, I was it's in every one of us. When I was still in the north, if I'm coming to market here, because we normally come from the north to Nineveh here. So my cousin, one of my neighbors, will give me money to buy something for him. If I buy that thing for 190, I will add 5 naira. Is that not greed? You understand? Yeah. But a time came, I have to confess. Say this is. And I was begging God to cut it away. This is my style of business. Because we are talking about business. What I'm actually sharing is a life experience. So we have to say no to some certain things. We have to say no. For you to, because, okay, for example, they are selling something for 1,000. Somebody sells for 250. You went and borrowed money here, borrowed money here. You didn't even, the greed does not allow you to say this thing is sold for 1,000. Even if the thing will come down, it will come down to at least, let's say, it remove 100 naira or 200 naira. And that's how one of them just packed more. Everybody, people, greedy people pack money. He ran away with them. Many shop has included a guy. He was doing sales boy for somebody. I say this number, the Holy Ghost say this number. Say if you just put this number now, you will win. So he went and borrowed money from his master. Say, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. He eventually lost his phone. So there are a lot of experiences, a lot of what? So when a man is content, if God has helped you to be content with what you have, the truth is that you may not have money. I'm telling you, you will have money, but not the way everybody wants. Not the way everybody, because there is time for everything, actually. In fact, God normally takes you through a process of training, put, remove those rubbish in your heart, and plants good characters in your heart before he even give you what you are looking for. But when we are looking for money, we are not paying attention to ourselves. You will go there, you will even use your school fees. Some people use their school fees because of greed. We are now boycotting education for money. They tell you school na scam, and you listen to them. Now, no problem. Meet them in the next 15 years. You understand? So one of the major causes is what? Quick gain, greed, lying, all those things. People lie because of, and I see a lot. One of them is lack of knowledge. Another one is what? Lack of knowledge. You see, anything you are doing without knowledge, Bible says, by knowledge, through wisdom a house is what? Say by understanding it is what? Established. Say through knowledge, there are things are added, precious things are added into your world, into their chambers. So one of the things you need to go for in business to avoid unnecessary what? Losses is what? Knowledge. You know, I normally say this. Once an Igbo man didn't go to school, no more reading again. They don't read. It's true. Check. When you see an Igbo man that spends time to read, a businessman that spends time to what? There is something he knows that others. So once you know more what? If money. How will you even make money without accurate what? Knowledge. You need to have knowledge of the business. You need to be trained. At times you go for training. At times you submit yourself under people. At times there are some certain decisions you want to take. You have to ask somebody that have been there. Say, please. In fact, a lot of people have wasted millions. Vibrant, lost everything because of what? Ignorance. Ignorance is a very powerful force. It had caused a lot of what? Losses. And let me tell you, one of the things that brings gain in business is actually knowledge. You know, knowledge is information. Knowledge is informative. Or let me even use this word: knowledge, wisdom, and what? Understanding. Because actually, wisdom is just an outlet through which knowledge what? Flows. You understand what I'm saying? So we need knowledge, we need understanding, we need what? Wisdom. We need information. You need to get information. If not, you'll be losing money and you don't know. You just start business, you're just doing it anyhow. You're just doing it anyhow. And the knowledge I'm talking about is not even the knowledge that starts at the university. Study the business. Learn the business. Know it. Know what your Bible says. Know the condition of your what? Of your flock. How do you want to make money? You don't have what? Adequate knowledge. You don't have adequate knowledge of the season. There are seasons in business. The last time I came, I told us about seasons in what? In business. I have to study those things and know. In fact, recently, because we sell a lot of stuff in my shop. So normally what I do is that I will send one of my boys, say, go and check the market. Check the price of all these things. Check the price of what? of these things. Because we need that information to know how to what? Sell. If not, you'll be losing a lot of money. People are losing money because they don't know. They're just there playing Ludo. No, you are not reading books to transform your mind. You are not learning from anybody. You have not checked a lot of these guys that people that have go and know what people did. What did they do? What did these people do to actually succeed? How can I make 500,000 to come up to what? 1 million or 2 million? It's knowledge. Life is not about luck. That is not. I don't believe in luck. Yes, Bible says time and chance happen to us. All men. So the question I'm asking you, what are you doing with your time and with your what? Chance. Some of us are playing uh, football games. You still have time to play game at this your age. Tomorrow, when they bring you maybe to work in the bank, you don't learn it. And you expect them to give you 500,000. One man of God poured olive oil on you. Say, go there. The first work you get, but you don't know anything. While you are going to school, you are just busy playing. You don't know anything. As a doctor, you don't know how to. Nobody will employ you if you don't know anything. In fact, ignorance of some certain things chases customer away. My time is almost up. I remembered one certain time because customers were coming. Then I began to misbehave. I didn't know that there's a character you need to develop to keep what? Your customers. Let me tell you, eh, God can give you something and you lose it through what? Character. I didn't know. I was just talking to my customers anyhow, and they were what? They were dropping. When I went to one program like that, they say, "How are you talking to your customer?" The thing just flashed to my mind. So I changed the way I was. I treat them. There are things you will do to customers. I'm telling you, they will be what? They'll be coming. There are things you will do to them. They will what? You need to understand the business. You need to go for knowledge. You need to read books, read Bible, read a lot of things that will help you to develop what? Accurate what? Knowledge. These days, a lot, if not for the corruption a lot of people are employed, but they don't know anything. But there is a place you go. Once